I just felt so bamboozled by what happened in my group today. Parts of me are still astonished by the kind of projections we make on each other without even being aware. And it all started when Sudha, this 20-year-old Bangladeshi participant from my group, confronted this another white woman named Marina. And she told her that she's not able to connect with her. And she said that while we've been in the group together for many months, there seems to be like this constant walls around you. And while you are present and you're engaging with us, I just don't feel you. I just don't have a sense of who you are. And your vulnerability is just not available to us. And then there was silence in the group for some time. And Marina had tears in her eyes. And she said that she resonated with the feedback that Sudha was giving her. And she said that I feel very sad when you're saying what you're saying because I see the truth of it. That I find it very difficult to, open my guards and let people in. And it looks like I'll always be this way and I'll never be able to be relational with people. And I'm actually wondering whether I'm even fit to be a part of this group. And she started crying further. And many members in the group, including Sudha, reached to her with empathy and support, and also assuring her that they really valued her presence. And Carl, this another white man in my group, he was quiet throughout this 20-30 minutes of whatever was going on. And then when he came in, he said that I am feeling quite disconnected with you, Marina. And I am also upset with you because I think that, you are putting yourself as a victim and you are making a villain out of Sudha, and I'm not interested in being your rescuer. And Marina was quite shocked with the tone in which Carl was saying, and she said that, listen, I'm feeling quite misunderstood. I'm not seeing Sudha as a villain. I actually thanked her for the feedback that she gave. And Carl interrupted her and said, it doesn't matter whether you've told her thank you or not. But the data is that when a woman of color is trying to give you feedback, you just burst out into these tears, and I am seeing some kind of white fragility in you. And I just don't like it. And that's the time when I intervened and I said that, Carl, I'm noticing a tightness in my body when I'm seeing you say what you're saying to Marina. And my guess is that your intention is to contribute to Marina. And yet somehow the words that you're using are leaving me feel very perplexed. Because in my understanding, white fragility really means, when white women, whenever they are confronted with issues around racism, they start crying and draw the attention to themselves and distract from the core issue. But in this moment, I don't think there was any topic around race. So I'm kind of confused that why are you using the word white fragility? And Carl looked down for a while and he said that he was embarrassed about his analysis, and given the context of how I had defined white fragility, he could see that that's not what Marina was doing. And in that moment, I told Carl that I've noticed this pattern that, whenever Marina has any process in the group, you have this very clinical tone in which you come in and you always tend to analyze her. And I'm wondering, what does Marina really symbolize for you? Because I also have this acute awareness that you are also a white man. And I'm wondering, what is Marina representing for you? So Carl went quiet for a moment and he said, yeah, you're right, Anisha. I am just, yes, I'm very much aware of my whiteness and I'm constantly afraid of being like this dominant white man. And I just feel very embarrassed when I see white women engage in ways that seem racist and when they demonstrate white fragility. And I saw myself feeling angry with that response from him. And I said that I'm really appreciating your honesty, Carl, and yet I recognize that when you say what you do, there's this part of me that really desires fairness, that's very perturbed by the possible gender process that I'm seeing. And is it okay if I bring something to your notice? And Carl, being Carl, was obviously very open, and he said, yes, please go ahead. And I said, I'm just looking at this, how patriarchy seems to have muddled all of us, that if anything goes wrong in the world, let's just blame women for it. So even around racism, if white fragility is a phenomena in women and it shows up in the form of tears, to my mind, white fragility is as much a part of a white man's psyche, and it shows up as anger. And I'm wondering what's really going on here. And Carl busted out laughing, and he said, I'm laughing, but this is really a laughter of embarrassment and shame. And I recognized that I was really scapegoating Marina, so that I don't have to look at my whiteness. I can appear whiter than white. And I really don't have to look at my own processes. So yeah, maybe I'm projecting my shadow onto her. And obviously then Marina and Carl had this conversation, and Carl apologized to her, and the group was able to point out other gender processes that were possibly going on in the group. And to my mind, I started thinking for myself that what are these unconscious projections that I'm making on others? What is this dark side that I see in others? And does it really exist in me? And how do I own up and take responsibility for my own negative thoughts or my own shadow side, so that others don't have to become alone in what they experience as something being wrong with them? And I guess when I'm sharing this incident, I'm also in a way encouraging y'all to look at what are your projections that you're making on others. How are you wronging other people in your head? And how what you're possibly seeing in the other person is also a part of you. And what would make it possible for you to own that up?